Ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Tuesday, August the 31st, 2021, the final day of August as we turn our attention to kickoff just 4 days away on September the 4th. The Gamecocks taking on EIU. And what an eventful Tuesday it has been to this point, folks. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Guys, I'll tell you this. If you're not in the Big Cock Club Discord and you're not in the TDC Questions channel, today is a good day to join because with everything going on and with us getting to kickoff, you guys know the questions, the comments, the calls, they are going to be flowing in. Of course, in case you missed it somehow, Zeb Noland officially named QB1 for the Gamecocks this morning. Also, the full depth chart has dropped for the season opener against EIU, and I want to hear all your thoughts, all your comments, all your questions regarding everything going down this morning. Folks, before we get into everything, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're not just a line item, you're not just a number, you're a real human being, and you should be treated as such. They're a small boutique law firm that treats the clients like family, and guys, they're going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. You've been involved in any type of accident, no matter what it is. The last thing you should be dealing with is paperwork, dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them take care of everything for you guys. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia. Curtis is in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, guys, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com. for more information. Again, guys, that's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. Again, folks, what an eventful Tuesday it has been thus far. Taking your questions, your comments, your calls. I'm sure you all know by this point, Zeb Noland, officially the man going into week one against EIU. He is officially the man going into week one against EIU. Yeah, Keith, I will drop the link to join the Discord. It's patreon.com/Big Cock Club, but I will drop the link right here for you all. Again, taking your questions, comments, calls, man, would love to hear it. I've already seen some very interesting comments on social media. I will tell you guys this. It's a bad day to be a slapdick. So if you're going to come in here in the comments and everything, I'd love to get you guys' thoughts and opinions, but it is a very, very bad day to be a slapdick on this here Twitter machine and Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and every other platform you can think of. Would love to hear your thoughts, though. Again, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Bad Brad 757 in the TDC Questions channel, the Big Cock Club Discord, says people not in the Big Cock Club might be screwed when it comes to getting their questions answered today. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're in the Discord, first priority questions in that TDC Questions channel because, again, I'd expect today it is going to be absolutely slammed. So, and I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you guys think. Again, we've been talking about this for quite a while. Over the past couple of weeks, we were hearing the rumblings and the rumors and the momentum, and it got greater and greater and greater. And, of course, today it comes out with the depth chart dropping that Zeb Noland will officially get the start Saturday at quarterback against Eastern Illinois. Let's see. Phil says, daily weather report, New Hampshire, 81 degrees and partly cloudy. Elvis, DMD, anything less than 500 yards offense will be a total letdown. I wouldn't say that, Elvis. I mean, what if you have 489 yards? Is that a total letdown? I mean, tough to quantify as far as statistics and stuff like that. You certainly need to have a productive game. There's no question. Let's see. I see Travi, Brendan M., Dusty Rhodes, Sean O'Brien, Clayton Michael Borner, Travis Yackel, Ryan Hobby, Tanner Land, David Garrett. Ton of people up in here. Let's see. Let's go through these comments again. We got a ton of comments, ton of questions already, as you guys can imagine. Dusty Rhodes, we have a QB1, But where the hell is Rico Powers on the depth chart? Dusty, I don't know. Guys practice and they earn playing time. I have no idea. Clayton Michael Warner is Zeb Noland, Colin Hill 2.0, which it's so funny, guys, to see fans. I didn't know that fans were that hurt from the Colin Hill thing last year. Like, fans are like that. That still haunts a lot of fans to this day, I think, with Colin Hill taking Ryan Helinski's job. I really think so, because that's the first thing everybody went to. And no, I don't know. It's not the same. It's not the same situation, guys. Everybody freaking out. Just stop for a moment and take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, okay? You want to do it again? Okay. Luke Doty is QB1. Bottom line, period, point blank. Guys, all this is, Shane Beamer looked at his quarterback room. He said, okay, I've got an FCS transfer who has not taken the job that we hoped he would. I've got a true freshman who's never taken a snap in college. And then I've got this other guy who, yeah, it's a crazy story. He was a GA. Guys, I agree. Hell, I was the one that said that I thought the guy would never see the field, and now he's a starting quarterback. So I was way off initially, of course, like we all were, though. But this is a situation where Shane Beamer and Marcus Satterfield looked around the quarterback room and said, who is the guy we can hand the keys of the car to for this game? He's not going to do anything stupid. He's not going to drive recklessly. He's going to go the speed limit, and he's going to return the car back to Luke Doty just the way he found it. Who is that guy? And that guy is Zeb Noland. That's it, though. This is a one-game thing. Zeb Noland will not start another game beyond EIU. I'll say it right now. And God willing, with Luke Doty's health, I will say, he's got to be healthy. But Luke Doty is this team's quarterback when he's 110% healthy. There's no question. It's nothing like last year. Colin Hill wasn't a fill-in for a game. He was the guy. He took Ryan Helinski's job. Zeb Noland did not take Luke Doty's job. Zeb Noland is the fill-in for game one against EIU because, listen, guys, again, selfishly for Coach Beamer, this is his season opener. This is his debut as a head coach, right? So, yeah, you're going to play the guy that's like, okay, I want this season opener to go as smoothly as possible, right? The last thing you want, guys, again, it came out this morning, the Gamecocks are a 42.5-point favorite. The fact that we were able to find a line is insane, but OddsShark released one. 42.5. 42.5, right? South Carolina could run the ball every play and win by 28 or more. No question. No question. But Shane Beamer, his debut as a head coach, think about it. The last thing Shane Beamer would want to happen is to hand the keys over to Jason Brown or hand them to Colton Gauthier. And those dudes wreck the thing or start out crappy or turn the ball over or, God forbid, whatever. Zeb Noland at least gives you the steady hand. And, guys, I don't want to get in the Colin Hill conversation because it's going to be a conversation many of you would disagree with and you won't like, and we talked about it all last year. Colin Hill wasn't that bad. He really wasn't, especially early in the season. He was the steady hand. The team last year had a plethora of issues around him. But, again, that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. This is a one-game thing. They're all going to play. It doesn't matter who starts. They're all going to play. Noland, Brown, Gauthier, probably even Connor Jordan is going to see the field. So, and here's my thing too. I'll say this. My question to you is this. Do you trust Shane Beamer or do you not? Bottom line, do you trust Shane Beamer or do you not? Boom, right there. Do you trust Shane Beamer or do you not? That's it. You think Shane Beamer is going to make a bad decision for his football team? You think he's going to make a decision that is going to put his football team in a less than ideal situation or not a perfect situation to go win? Do you trust Shane Beamer or do you not? That's my question to you. Again, we got 40 pending comments and questions right now. Holy smokes. I'll tell you what, another good way to get your question answered, call in. Call in or text in, by the way. We got the text lines open as well. 843-790-337. Sperminator, the TDC Questions channel, the Big Cock Club Discord, says, how about a bad day to be a slapdick shirt? Phil, what should I have for lunch? I have no idea. You're vegan. Go eat a piece of broccoli. I don't know. Eat some pasta. T. Knoll, 28, says, no, Zeb Noland is not another Colin Hill 2.0. He's got two working legs for starters, LOL, and is only starting one game. or game 1. Doty will be back game 2, and it's his show from there on out until he does something to warrant a change. Zeb was clearly the best option. And only other quarterback that has Power 5 experience. Smart move by the coaching staff. These guys just want to win, and Zeb gives us the best chance to do so. Whoa. Comments. I think we have so many comments I can't scroll up. Let's see. Brad Vale, who cares? Honestly, who cares who starts game 1 against EIU? Because we all know Doty will be starting week 2. In my opinion, Beamer will be playing all 4 quarterbacks throughout the game. Exactly. Christian Gillespie, it makes the most sense. You're going up against a bad team. The spread's over 40 points. I think Zeb will do just fine. Yeah. By the way, guys, we will be tuned in to Shane Beamer's presser at 1:15. We will be tuned into that, just to let you all know. Jordan Beard, Zeb has a ton of experience. He's the best option at quarterback for backing up Doty, which is what he is doing for this game. Well, Luke Doty's obviously injured, but I understand what you're saying. Let's see. Phil Harris, everybody panic. Everybody hit the panic button, Ritter. Where's Ritter at? Hit the panic button. Hit the panic button. Michael Sawyer, everybody wanted Jason Brown. Come on, guys. He's got no college experience yet. He'll get playing time in the second half after Zeb sets us up for the W. Scott Stamey, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Let's see. Great Bisbee, he has experience. Indeed, he does. Yes, Matt Navala, people are freaking out on social media. Yes. Jesse Jacobs, no, you are not the only one who thinks ECU is a dangerous game. If you've listened to anything I've said, I've said that's the most important game of the season. So I obviously think that's going to be a very tight game. No question. No question. Trad says ECU plays App State Thursday, so we'll see how good they are. I've heard from their fans they're nowhere near as good as they used to be when we played them years ago. Well, we're nowhere near as good as we used to be when we played them years ago. So what? I mean, both of us. Let's see. Jump back to the TDC questions channel, the Big Cock Club Discord. Phil says, how bad are Jason, Colton, and Connor? They couldn't separate themselves from a GA. Well, again, Phil, that's the really easy opinion to have on this, that, oh, my God, they pulled a – and I understand he was a GA, but they pulled a GA to play that played this spring at North Dakota State and played at the Power 5 level for Iowa State. So, Phil, make sure when you ask that type of question, you tell the entire story, because there's context that needs to be included with what you just said. It's not like you took a GA job and you're starting at quarterback now. This is a guy that played a couple months ago. He's played the most recently of any quarterback on the roster, including Luke Doty. So, Jordan Beard says, also pretty sure Connor Jordan could win this game if need be. All the people not following. God, where'd it go? Well, I just lost the question. That's great. Connor Jordan could certainly win the game. Sorry, guys. We have literally 81 comments. There are 81 comments. There are 81 comments that are pending right now. That's why I'm saying join the Big Cock Club, get in the Discord, get the TDC questions, because that'll guarantee your questions are answered, because I cannot guarantee they're going to be questioned otherwise, because there are literally 81 comments pending right now. Bad Brad 757 in the TDC questions channel says he also basically created the playbook of the summer and played in games this spring. Elvis DMD says, in shame we trust. The other funny thing I've seen, by the way, is this, which Bryant Hughes says the depth chart is not in order. For the quarterbacks, it is. For running back, there is no starting running back, by the way. It's or for everyone. And I think the reason that is because you have Kevin Harris, who's going to be out because of his back procedure. And beyond that, it's just everybody's going to play, dude. Everybody's going to play. Everybody's going to play. Everybody's going to play. Doesn't matter. Everybody's going to play. Let's see. Here we go. Travie. All will play. Yes, all will play. Doty will not. He shouldn't play. If he's not 110%, like I told you guys, he should not play. Bottom line. By the way, you guys, really quickly, you see the T-shirt, by the way. 2-year anniversary of hashtag Fire Will Muschamp after the UNC game in Charlotte. It's been a hell of a ride, man. I appreciate y'all. Let's see. We got a text here. Do you think our defense will be as good as the simulation? It's Jerry Withrow. Jerry, appreciate the text. No, I don't. Short answer, no. We got another text. People from Sean O. People are overlooking that having Zeb Noland over any other quarterback aside from Doty also helps all the other players on the field get better during a real game. It's larger than just arguing who should be and who shouldn't be QB2. That's a good point. Again, guys, if you sit down and you think about it critically, here's the thing. I think what's happening is this. There are a lot of fans, and by the way, this is not a slight at any fan or coming at any fan, but I think this is what's happening. There are a lot of fans who follow us and follow the Gamecocks sort of casually, if you will, right? There's a lot of you tuned in here. You're in the Daily Crow every day. You hear all the rumblings. You see all the rumors. You hear the momentum. You know what I'm saying? those of us who are in tune with Gamecock football, like really, really in tune, we saw this coming. We've known this for weeks, right? We've known this for weeks just from what we've heard behind closed doors, the way Shane Beamer and Marcus Satterfield had talked about Zeb Noland. This is not something that is shocking to us. Quite the contrary. This is something we have expected. But for those who just sort of casually tune in and they're just casually seeing social media, and maybe they don't, they're not quite as in tune, they're seeing this as like, oh my God, what the hell? Zeb Noland, QB1 for the season. That's exactly why I phrased my tweet and my post this way, guys. I phrased it this way. Okay, when we posted it, I said this. Zeb Noland has officially been named Gamecock starting quarterback for this weekend's game against EIU. He has not been named QB1 for this season. He is not QB1 for the entire year. He is the starting quarterback for this game. This game specifically. Because he's not QB1 when Luke Doty's healthy. Luke Doty is, and the team understands that, and the coaching staff understands that, and Luke Doty understands that. The guy was named QB1 after the spring game. Guys, the only reason Zeb Noland even put on a jersey is because Luke Doty got hurt. Because he got hurt. So for those who are freaking, is this Colin Hill? I mean, it's like the SpongeBob gif, like the fire, trying to blow up the fire. Everybody's running around. Is Zeb Noland? Is this Colin Hill 2.0? Stop. Just stop. It's a horrid day to be a slapdick. It's a very, very tough day to be a slapdick. If you're a slapdick, it's not your morning. It's not your day. Go to sleep. Try again tomorrow. Just absurd, bro. It's absurd. And then I love, by the way, and this is not, I'm not slighting any player or slamming the kid at all, but I love the people that are like, oh my, the transfer portal. Everybody else is going to hit the transfer portal. Jason Brown's hitting the transfer portal. Man, you think Brown's going to hit the transfer portal? Where is Jason Brown going to go? Y'all, where on God's green earth do you think these people think that the transfer portal is just the answer? Up, and I guess that's today's society. Up, and not to be the old guy, but, you didn't win the starting job? Hit the transfer portal. Where is Jason Brown going to go? Back to FCS? Where's Colton Gauthier going to go? Back to high school? Like, bro, he's a true freshman. No kidding, Colton didn't win the starting job, even for the first game. No kid, he wasn't going to play this year anyways. Like, what are you talking about? Zeb Noland will be done after this year. He's only playing in one game. And Colton Gauthier came to South Carolina knowing good and damn well that Luke Doty's the starting quarterback. He came to Carolina knowing that. So what are y'all talking about? Like, what? And then Jason Brown, y'all, again, no slight to the kid at all. I like him. I've met Jason. I'm glad he's a Gamecock. But where is Jason Brown going to go? Where is he going to go? What are you talking about? I mean, they're all going to play. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. They're all going to play. Every one of them's going to play, and then we're going to get to week 2 this time next week, and Luke Doty's going to be QB1, and all of this will be a funny joke that we all had. This will just all be a funny little footnote. That's it. Back to the TDC questions channel, the Big Cock Club Discord. Phil says, I hear what you're saying, Chris, but does the quarterback room depth chart concern you at all? No, Phil. Phil, listen. If QB1 goes down with a season-ending injury, we are fucked anyways. Excuse my French, but we are. Like I told you guys, I loved, Shane Beamer's no doom and gloom speech, and I totally understand what he's saying. But any team in college football that loses QB1, unless they're like we were in 2012 with Dylan Thompson, not many teams have the luxury of having 2 starting quarterbacks on one roster. Phil, if Luke Doty went down with a season-ending injury, which, knock on wood, it doesn't happen, right? We were screwed anyways. So, I mean, what are you talking about? Does the quarterback room depth chart concern me? If somebody besides Luke Doty has to play this season, that concerns me. I don't give a damn who it is. So, Colton Gauthier is a true freshman. What are you expecting from that guy? Jason Brown is an FCS transfer. What were you expecting from that guy? What were you expecting? And then Luke Doty goes down. Your other option's Connor Jordan, who's a walk-on, which all due respect to the walk-ons, but he's a walk-on. I mean, did you before Zeb, let me ask you this, before Zeb Noland put on a jersey, did you for some reason think the quarterback room depth chart was like spectacular, or you felt better about the quarterback room depth chart? I'm just not computing that. I'm not understanding that, you know? Sperminator says, think that, that GA torched Oklahoma for 360 yards. He did. Played really well against them a couple years ago, but he did. T-Knoll28 in the Big Cock Club Discord says, here's a bigger surprise to me. Debo Williams listed the third-string linebacker on the depth chart. I thought he would have a chance to start alongside Sherrod Green. Also, how about Jakari Caldwell's listed second on the wide receiver depth chart? Glad to see one of the younger guys coming along. He must have had a great fall camp. Yeah, he must have. We haven't heard a ton about Jakari, but I'm glad to see a big-bodied guy, 6'4", can help you on the outside. Bad Brad 757 says, do we think we have a chance to break or set a record on rushing yards in a game for South Carolina? With what we're hearing about Juju and what we already know about Lloyd White and Bell even, I think we could have an insane amount of rushing yards this weekend. What is the record? I mean, we can run. Hey, I'll tell you this. We can run for as many as we want. We can score as many as we want. We can run for as many as we want. We can do whatever we want. That's it. Let's see. Go back to the text line real quick. 843-790-3377. We got a text here. There are 2,000 players still in the transfer portal. No one has picked at those players. Kyle Trask from Florida was a walk-on. Yeah, again, the transfer portal is not just some immediate solution. It's not. People think it is, but it's not. We got a text. Just AJ Reese says, just tuned in. Why do people seem mad that Zeb is starting? What part of our starter is out with an injury and he's the best option for QB2? Don't people understand? Geez, like literally, what is their argument? I think people are just they're so scarred from this slap dick right here and the Colin Hill situation. I think that's truly what it is. People are just that scarred from the previous regime. And they're just, oh, here we go again. Here we go. Colin Hill 2.0. Like, come on, guys. Come on now. Come on. Somebody texts in, what if Zeb is the next Joe Burrow? In Zeb we trust. Love that. All right, let's jump to the phone lines real quick. What's going on? You're on the air. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Chris? This is Todd Smith. How are you doing today, sir?
Todd, what's going on, man? Appreciate you calling in. What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to tell everybody to please pull out their proverbial sandwich bag and breathe, please. Everything's going to be just fine.
Right.
You would think we're starting out playing Clemson with all the panic this morning.
Yeah, or UNC or NC State and I agree, man. I mean, that, Todd, you could go start at quarterback and we're going to beat EIU's ass, so it doesn't really matter.
Hey, and I weigh 275 pounds, so I'd be a pretty damn strong one.
That's it. Dondrell Pinkins 2.0.
Absolutely. Hey, but I'm listening in today from New Mexico, man. Everybody take a deep breath. It's going to be all right. Go Gamecocks. See you later, Chris.
See you later, man. Appreciate you, Todd. Great stuff. Love Todd's energy. 843-790-3377. We got another text here, Chris. What kind of role do you see for Juju McDowell? Kid's electric. Yeah, I think he'll be all over the field, special teams. They talked about splitting him out wide in the slot. I think we'll see him at running back for sure. So Juju McDowell's going to play. He's going to get an opportunity Saturday, no question. Let's see. All right, let's jump back into the comments here. Let's jump back into your comments. Tyler, no, I feel like Jason was a package deal with EJ. I feel the coaching staff really only wanted EJ and they were only coming together. That's just me, though. You said it. You said it, not me. That's all I'll say. Zachary Crumpton, the game is on SEC Network Plus. Robbie Davis texts in. What's up, Chris? It's Robbie Davis outside of God and family and Beamer I trust. Which position group are you most excited about seeing on Saturday night? What position group do you think could shock a lot of people possibly later on in the season? Position group most excited to see? Probably... that's tough to say. Probably running backs. The position group that could shock a lot of people. Linebackers. I'll say linebackers. I think linebackers could actually turn out to be a pretty decent unit. I think they could. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. In case you missed it, depth chart is out. Zeb Noland is the starting quarterback for the Gamecocks game this weekend against Eastern Illinois. Also, for those wondering, yes, we will be tuned in live to Shane Beamer's media availability at 1 o'clock. We'll be streaming it right here. So if you're looking for a place to watch it, we'll have it right here. Also, do want to remind you, podcast did drop this morning as daily podcasts are back. Alex McGrath and I Really, really excited to have Alex McGrath back on for the third consecutive season. Alex McGrath joined me to talk about the preseason overall outlook of this year's team, the season opener, his best memories from season openers at Carolina. Really, really great stuff. So, again, check that out. Episode 486 of the podcast dropping this morning. Josh Smith, you were saying last week how shocked you'd be if Zeb touched the field at all this year. Well, that was 2 weeks ago, but you are right, Josh. I was saying that. And, I mean, I think most said that, though. I think most were like, thought this was just, Shane Beamer himself literally said, hey, we just want some depth. We need guys to help us out with reps, whatever. So trust me, I'm shocked too. I'm not sitting here, I saw some comments, people saying, oh, see, Philly was right. He called it. I said in the beginning I'd be shocked if he touched the field. So I'm not trying to take any credit for any of that. I'm not trying to take any credit for any of that. I think we're all a little surprised how things played out. Let's just put it that way. Bird Anders, the fans that don't understand this decision and your explanation are probably the same ones that stroll in halfway through the first quarter and stumble around trying to find their seats on the wrong row. Damn. Taking shots. Shots are fired. Shots are fired from my guy. Trad Stale, I'm more surprised to see Josh Van on punt return. Yeah, I'm not. Shane Beamer mentioned him possibly winning that job, so and I think a couple of guys will probably get shots at that for sure. The comments are coming in so fast we can't even read them all. Brian Welch, as Gamecock fans, we should just really relax and enjoy this W we're going to get this weekend because we haven't had a guaranteed dub since Charleston Southern in 2019. It's one game. Doty will be back and BQB won. Exactly. That's why when people ask me, Chris, what game, if you could only pick one game this season, which game would you want to go to? For me, it's a no-brainer. It's this one. It's this one upcoming. Guaranteed W, first game back from COVID. Shane Beamer's debut as Gamecocks head coach. Yeah, sign me up. Sign me up, folks. Sign me up. Absolutely. Yeah, Sean O'Brien Beamer was right, though. Ideally, you want 6-7 quarterbacks to push through reps at camp. Yeah, definitely. Sperminator in the TDC questions channel says 7 sacks, over or under. I'm going to say under. Man, 7 sacks is a crazy number. I'll say under. I think we get a lot. I think I could see us getting 5, but 7? 7's insane. Maybe we do get 7. Savannah Webster, we expecting any insurance changes? No, I don't think so. I have heard nothing about that. Josh Reichley, remember that starter, quote unquote, literally means who's on the field for the first play. We will see all of our quarterbacks more than likely. Josh, 110%. Steve Spurrier used to say that. He's like, hey, the starter's just the one that takes the field first. What's more important is who finishes the ball game. That's what's more important. Who's going to finish the football game? So, Jason Taylor McDowell reminds me a bit of Boo Williams. Hot take. He takes a kickoff to the house Saturday night. Well, Jason, it's hard for me to compare Juju McDowell to anybody because he's never taken the field at South Carolina. So, yeah. I did have somebody comment, by the way, on Twitter because, of course, the depth chart was dropped. Somebody tweeted the fact that Ortre isn't in the starters conversation. It is a little disconcerting. And all I would say, guys, is, I tried to tell you. That's my stock has been sold, and there's nothing that's going to change that until he gets on the field and actually does something. Let's see. Quarterback Jason Brown made it to the presser. Says it hurt when he learned he wasn't the starter. Expects to play on Saturday at some point. Yeah, they're all going to play. They're all going to play. Jesus, they're all going to play. Like. How about, by the way, this is a completely unrelated topic. How about Cam Newton getting released? That was crazy, right? Crazy. Yeah, Brandon Ward, we'll be streaming the presser here as well, Brandon. We'll be streaming Shane Beamer's presser right here. Tyler Weed says, everybody talking about the quarterback situation, but the size and speed of our defensive front and linebackers look solid. I'll temper my excitement against EIU, but they look to be sized up for the SEC. For sure. Yeah, Tyler, we've got athletes. There's no question. I'll be honest with you, the secondary scares the living shit out of me. I think the secondary is going to be a weak spot. There's no question. I think the secondary is going to be a weak spot. There's a reason I ranked them as D-. Hunter Johnson, not sure why everybody's tripping over Zeb being the starter. It's going to be a run-heavy game with the rest of the quarterbacks coming in to get used in game situations and in front of the crowd. Yeah, we're going to run the ball a ton on Saturday. Keith, do you think Colton Leaves, 4th string on this team? How bad is the kid? I thought he had a lot of promise. Keith, the kid is a true freshman. And Keith, all right, Keith, hey, to Keith's point, transfer portal's there. If he's fourth string in this depth chart, Keith, where in the hell do you think he's going to go and fight for a starting job? Where do you think he's going to go? He's a true freshman. Of course he's not second string. People think the transfer portal is the end-all, be-all. It's the solution. I mean, is that the mentality now? Is that the mentality for all players? Oh, I didn't win the starting job. Oh, I'm just going to pick up my ball and go home and transfer. Is that everybody? Again, I'm not trying to be like the old guy in the room, be like super old school, but like, is that really what it's become? Like, oh, I'm a freshman. I didn't win the starting job. I'm going to transfer. I mean, Keith says he had other major offers. I understand he had a ton of Power 5 offers. I totally get that. But you think it would be career suicide for him to hit the portal right now. Suicide to his career. Now, if he goes through this season, doesn't touch the field once, and he feels like it's in his best interest to transfer because Braden Davis is coming in and Luke Doty's going to be here for a couple of years, that's fine. But Keith, he came here knowing Luke Doty was QB1. Bottom line, I mean, what are we talking about? Dude, and here's the other thing I'd say to you, Keith, and everybody else. Colton Gauthier committed to the University of South Carolina. Okay? He did. He didn't commit to a coach. He committed to the school. So he obviously wants to be at South Carolina. He wouldn't have come to Carolina if he didn't want to. He didn't come here for Muschamp. He didn't come here for Beamer. He came here for the University of South Carolina. So I'd like to think for that reason he's going to want to stay. He's going to want to fight for a job. I mean, God, like, are we really to the point where if you don't win the starting job now, you got to transfer? I mean, come on, dude. Come on. And again, you make it sound like, you just hit the portal and it's all going to work out. You find the perfect spot. What if you don't? What if you don't? What if Colton Gauthier's got to go to Newberry? All due respect to my school, but what if he's got to transfer down a level? He's got to go FCS. He's got to go D2. Probably be in his best interest to stick it out at least for another year or two. At least. I love that's where people jump to. Oh, my, this kid's going to hit the transfer portal. And you know what, Keith? If they want to hit the transfer portal because they didn't win the job, don't let the door hit you on the way out. I don't care. All we got's all we need. If you want to hit the transfer portal, if you're that butthurt because you didn't win the job, hit the portal. I don't care. That's why. Here's the greater lesson in all this, Keith. Here's the greater lesson for Keith and everybody else. This is why you shouldn't get crazy hyped up over dudes in the recruiting cycle. You shouldn't. It don't mean jack shit until they get on campus and they prove it on the field. Bottom line. Because some guys get to college and they get on campus, they're really good players. They flourish. They work their asses off. They have the right attitude. They prioritize the right things. And you know what happens? Some guys don't. Some guys don't do that. And this is not really about Colton Gauthier. This is about just everybody. But if people had dreams of Colton Gauthier in the recruiting, cycle, he's going to just come in and take over and be the starter. And I mean, dude, what were you thinking? It's your fault for having improper expectations, not Colton Gauthier's fault for being fourth on the depth chart. So, bottom line. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Keith, I'm not meaning to come at you directly, but again, you just bring up some points. I've seen many, many comments about the transfer portal, and it's just like, you really think that's the solution for these guys? I mean, go. Where are you going to go? Where's Jason Brown going to go, Keith? Back to FCS? Jason Brown is living the dream, my friend. He's getting to dress out on an SEC football team. That man is living the dream. And Jason Derrick, I'm not meaning to fire shots at Newberry because I went to Newberry. So I'm just saying that it'd be going down to the D2 level. You know what I mean? No, I'm a Newberry. I mean, I went to Newberry, so I'd be firing shots at myself. Let's see. Sean O'Brien says, we are psychoanalyzing the quarterback room a little too much. That's what we do here, Sean. That's what we do as Gamecocks, Sean. You know this. We psychoanalyze everything, Sean. You know this. Zachary Mobley knows Zeb Noland is wearing number 8. Number 8. Tyler Weed, slightly off topic, but shout out to Justin King and the media team. We've got the best in the country right here in Columbia, hands down. Can't wait for Saturday. Yeah, that video they put out was incredible. That video was awesome. So, Rocky Johnson, people, get off the quarterback room. Rocky, this is a bad day to say that, my friend, because that's what everybody wants to talk about. So, I don't know. You're going to have a hard time convincing people not to talk about quarterback room. Great Bisbee, do you think the first game is set up for Beamer to allow Noland to air it out? No, I think we're going to run the ball a lot. Over under 20 passes for this game. Team-wise, 20 passes. We may not throw more than 20 passes. I'm telling you right now. We may not throw more than 20 passes. So, let's see. Skyland Reed Davis says it does not matter who starts. I agree. Again, 1:15, guys. We'll tune into Shane Beamer's media availability. 1:15. We'll have that streaming right here live. We might not even take a 5-minute break between now and then because we got so much going on, so much. I mean, I'm literally sweating. I'm so fired up today. I'm literally sweating, and I don't know, maybe because it's 110 degrees outside in Columbia. And the AC is working hard today, but yours truly is fired up. Let's see. Donnie Cunningham should have just let Dak Joyner be QB1 for week 1. Hashtag I'm just saying. You know, Rebecca Dean Strandage, why is he shouting? Well, Rebecca, you don't have to be tuned in. I mean, there's probably plenty of other live streams you can go where, or you can go watch. Now, Rebecca, we attack this thing with a lot of passion. So if it's your first time tuned in, we attack this thing with a lot of passion, especially when you have shit like today happen. Shit has hit the fan today. Todd Smith, drink a bush latte, indeed. I'll stick to the water for now. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. You can call or text that number, 843-790-3377. He says, you do know at some point your Webb is, I think you meant Zeb. Webb is going to have to win the game, right? Ever heard of stacking the box against the run? Teams will stop us. Keith, you've listened to nothing I've said. I have failed you. Keith, he's only going to be the starter for a single game. He's only going to be the starter for one game. What are we talking about? Literally, Luke Doty will be back week 2. He will. He will be back week 2. And I've tried to tell you all preseason, we're going to be 70-30 running the ball, I think. We're going to run the ball a lot. We got to lean on our O-line. We got to lean on our running backs. We got to lean on our strength, bottom line. Of course, we're going to have to throw it at some point. But against EIU, Keith, I got a spoiler for you. No, we won't. No, we won't. We won't have to run the ball or throw the ball. We won't. We are favored by 42.5 points. We can run it every damn play if we want. Power left, power right. Not even Kurt Roper could call a bad game against EIU. Even Kurt Roper could score 42 on EIU. Hell, Keith, we'll start you at quarterback and go score 42. That's it. Like, crazy, man. It's crazy. Any other depth chart takeaways here on a Tuesday? I'll tell you guys my initial thoughts. Brooks, Van Joyner at receiver, kind of what we expected. No starting running back named, kind of expected with Kevin Harris's injury. I'm surprised Marshawn wasn't named the starter, but again, they're all going to play. What difference does it make? Secondary worries the hell out of me. Not going to lie to you. It does. It really worries the hell out of me. Surprised, again, somebody mentioned it, Debo Williams, third string or whatever he was. I was very surprised at that. Jordan Birch behind Aaron Sterling. I think they gave the nod to Sterling just because he is a veteran. But overall, I mean, that was pretty much it. Nothing crazy outside of that, I feel like. We got another text here. Interesting to see how we use Amarian Brown. Kid is too talented and athletic not to be utilized. I agree. I agree with you 110%. I mean, I think one of the big things is that Amarian Brown missed like half of fall camp because of COVID. So I think that's one of the reasons you're not seeing him listed as a starter. Somebody just commented. Solo Bowen says, Bishop Sycamore could beat EIU. Best way to put it. That's the best way to put it. Joseph, God, so many new faces during football season. I remember during baseball season seeing the same 20 to 30 people in here. Love the energy. I told you, man. I told you. That's it. Rocky Johnson, how about the DBs? Yeah, again, there's talent. We talked about DBs on yesterday's podcast. There's talent in the room. I'm not saying there's not potential. Scary. They won't get exposed week 1. They won't be exposed this weekend. Our DBs, our defense will look great this weekend, I think. Our defense will make a lot of big plays. Our defense will force turnovers. But when we get an SEC play, against teams that can really throw the ball, I think it's going to be a struggle. I think it's really, and I'm not going to call any guys out individually, but again, Shane Beamer mentioned it. When you have as many new faces as we have that have never played a snap at this level, it's a bit concerning. It is a bit concerning when you have that many fresh faces. So, we'll see what happens. Again, there's talent in the room, but man, there's a lot of unknowns in that secondary. Yeah, Doc Graybeard with the understatement of the day. If we try to be an air raid offense with the talent we have, it will fail. Yeah, that's a given. We need a solid running game to get the pass lanes open, catch the safeties cheating up, and play action on the top. Bingo. Doc Graybeard, you might just – is that not Marcus Satterfield's YouTube account? Aaron Hodges, we're going to expect Doty, who missed 3 weeks of camp, a week of game prep, to come out and be gangbusters. Well, I still say Luke Doty, the best version of this offense, the best version of this football team will be with Luke Doty under center. So, yeah, Aaron, you will. You will. Well, he had a full spring, too, and a full summer, and he actually played in SEC games last year. So, Steven says, what do you make of the starting wide receivers? Kind of what we expected. It's the guys we heard about all during fall camp. Again, Brooks, Van, and Joyner. Which let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys, which of those three do you expect to be wide receiver one? Which one? Because I don't know. I don't know. You got Brooks from Wingate. You got Van, who's been nothing since he got here. And you got Joyner, who hadn't had a position since he got on campus. So I don't know. Again, I like the potential there. I think this will be Dak's best year in Garnet and Black, no question. Brooks has obviously got hella speed. Maybe he can utilize that this year. Van was obviously a very highly regarded prospect. There's upside to all three of them, but who's going to be the number one guy? Who's going to be that guy? I still think it's going to be Amarian Brown at some point. I really do. I think, again, missing half of the preseason due to COVID, I think that obviously hurt. But, no, I think, man, he's the most proven of that group. He's done it at the Power 5 level. He's done it at a high level at the Power 5 level. So I would expect it to be Amarian Brown. Let's see. Again, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Again, if you're in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to TDC Questions to make sure your question's answered. But again, you can call, you can text, 843-790-3377. A lot of people saying, I literally see three comments in a row. Brooks, number one, Joyner, number one, Van, number one. Nobody knows. Dusty Rhodes says, Chris, you were in rare form today. I don't think so. I think this is pretty normal for him. But, hey, when stuff happens like today, man, it's just pure chaos. It's chaos. I'm telling you, people ask me all the time, Chris, how do you do a daily live show? How do you do a daily podcast? How do you not run out of stuff to talk about? And I say, have you ever been a South Carolina fan? Because it's just endless. It's endless. Every single day is something new. Every single day. Let's see. E.J. Jenkins is listed at tight end this week. That makes more sense to me than him being a wide receiver. That is a text we got. Yeah, I fully expected E.J. to be a tight end. Again, I think he's going to be a guy that splits out wide for you, but I fully expected E.J. to be a tight end. Guys, it is game week. Yes, 4 days away from kickoff. 4 days away from kickoff. Is there anybody else that needs to be talked off the ledge with the Zeb Noland news? Is there anybody else? Needs to be talked off the ledge? Let's see. We need a Wildcat package with Dak. I think you will see it. Yeah, Joseph, it is game week. You are right, my friend. It is game week. Let's see. Again, guys, you can call in, text in 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. We will be tuned in to Shane Beamer's presser at 1:15. I'm sure he will have some very interesting comments to make regarding the depth chart dropping. Zeb Noland being named the starting quarterback for Saturday's game. Just got a text, in Zeb we trust. I tell you what, I need a Zeb Noland number 8 jersey more than I need air to breathe, honestly. Somebody said, Jason Brown answering questions right now. Where can we watch? It is not being streamed. Those are not streamed live. Shane Beamer's is. I will have full recap and coverage of all the comments from these guys later in the day because, yes, Jason Brown is speaking right now to the media. Yeah, and Perry Orth with some great perspective here. My guy Perry on Twitter says, congrats to Zeb on winning the quarterback job for Game 1 this Saturday. Also love seeing Jason Brown support him. My advice to Jason is a line I heard from my high school coach very often, quote, you're just a sprained ankle away from being the guy, son. Be ready when your number is called. Great perspective. Again, that's why, oh, man, is Jason Brown going to hit the portal? Bro, we're going to need him to play. What are you talking about? We're going to need him to play. They're all going to have to play. I mean, if you want to be a guy that picks up his ball and just goes home when things don't go your way, by all means, do it. Do it. This probably is not school or the conference for you or the game for you. If these guys, if you want guaranteed playing time, if you're on an SEC roster and you want guaranteed playing time, transfer to Wofford, transfer to Furman, transfer to Valdosta State, transfer to Lenore-Rhine, transfer to Lincoln Memorial. They will gladly take you, and I can almost guarantee you that you will start. There are no guarantees at this level. None. There are no guarantees. I mean, what did Jason Brown think? Did he think he was going to come in from St. Francis and he's all of a sudden going to be the best quarterback on the roster? Are you freaking kidding me? Come on. It's a competition. And I say this year, for those that are going crazy about Shane Beamer. Oh, I've even seen people slap Dick McGee's on social media that have literally said, oh, this is the same as the last coaching staff. I thought it was going to be different. They really disappointed me. Oh, my God, it's Muschamp 2.0. And I will say this, again, look at my shirt. We all know my feelings on Muschamp and how that all went. And, Ron, you still can buy this T-shirt, by the way. It's still on the store. But we all know how it went with Muschamp, my thoughts, whatever. But I even said this last year, and I will say it again right now. Guys, these coaches are paid millions of dollars. This is their livelihood. This is not something they do. They're not an assistant at the freaking YMCA. They're not doing this as a side thing. This is their job. So I can guarantee you the same situation with Colin Hill last year. And again, this is not the same situation, but Will Muschamp and Mike Bobo, as incompetent as I thought he was and he is as a coach, they did not. These coaches don't start players because they're their favorites. Oh, we just like him more than him, so we're going to start him. Or, there's people thinking the same thing with Zeb Noland. Guys, the coaches sit down, they look at their room, they look at the talent, they're like, who is going to give us the best chance to win? Bottom line. Again, there's many of you out there. I think the same people that are upset about Zeb Noland, they probably still have their Ryan Helinski jersey hanging in the closet. They're probably still wearing their Helinski jersey to games. Like, get the fuck over it. Get over it. Your golden boy was not all that good. He didn't do what he needed to do to start at quarterback. Get over it. Just leave it be. Like, that's where all this vitriol is coming from. Those are the people that are freaking out about this. Because you know what? A lot of people just think I'm showing up, or that I show up when things go bad and I'm just the fire the coach guy. No, I will defend Shane Beamer with the same vitriol that I came after Muschamp with, because Beamer doesn't deserve the questioning and the BS we're seeing on social media. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. It's absurd. Like, again, yes, Josh, these coaches are at practice every single day. They are getting paid millions of dollars to make these decisions. And if the decision backfires, then we can blame the coach. Totally fine. But again, the people that are freaking out and going crazy over this, they're the same people that bitched and moaned that, oh, Ryan Helinski got his job stolen. No, he didn't. He lost his job because he didn't do what he needed to do in the preseason and the offseason and the playbook to keep the job and to be the starting quarterback. That is the fact and the reality of the situation. Let's jump to the phone lines. Dalton, what's going on, man? You're on the air. Appreciate you calling in.
I'll tell you what, man. Today there's just some people on the internet who need to calm down, just take a chill pill about this whole entire situation.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know what? There's a part of me that loves these people because they do make it kind of fun. But again, I think, dude, what it is, I like I said, if people don't tune into the content every day or how in tune you are with Gamecocks football or not, that's really not, whatever, right? Everybody's got their own lives to live. Like, the fan that just casually shows up for the games is just as important as the fan that is a donor who's on Twitter every day and blah, blah. You get what I'm saying. But I think a lot of it is, again, people that just haven't been really in tune with what's going on. If you follow Gamecock football closely, you knew this was happening. Like, this is not like a surprise. You know what I mean? But I think there's a lot of people that are just totally blindsided by this, that were just like, I've seen people comment, they don't even know who the heck this guy is. A lot of people don't even know who he is. So, if you know the reality of the situation, if you've been following for a bit, I think that you understand, but it's the people that are blindsided that are like, all they remember is Colin Hill, Ryan Helinski, how that went down. They don't know any context behind it. They don't want to think critically of why it happened, and they're going off yet again. So here we are. Here we are on this August, the last day of August. What a day to close. What a way to close the month. What a way to close the month.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I just think there's so many people who are just angry and frustrated with the last coaching regime that we had.
There's still scars. There's still wounds that haven't healed. There, absolutely, yeah.
Right. I just think everybody needs to give Beamer some trust here, and trust him to make the right decision. Yeah. So
bro, it's reminiscent. It's reminiscent of, and again, hopefully you've never been in this situation, but many people have. Is like when you're in a relationship and somebody does you wrong or something or whatever, and you go to that next relationship and you're almost like holding on to those past like judgments and feelings from that. You're projecting those problems on the new person. That's basically what's going on here. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. You know what I mean? Like, Gamecock fans are still healing from their previous toxic relationship, but it's like, dude, listen, if it doesn't work, look, Shane Beamer is going to go through the same thing as being a coach as every other coach does. He's going to make decisions. He's going to coach games. And as he goes through the course of his career, hey, if he makes decisions that don't make any sense and they backfire, he will be criticized for it. He's not exempt from it. He'll be criticized. He'll be critiqued. No, listen, no coach is above that. Look at Scott Frost at Nebraska. Look at Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. Those guys actually went to the school. That'd be like Connor Shaw being the head coach, and those guys are getting killed. Scott Frost is like Will Muschamp 2.0 right now. So Shane Beamer's not exempt from it. If we go through these situations and he's paid to make these decisions, if they don't work, fine. But this is not the decision to get fired up about. I mean, we're playing Eastern Illinois, for God's sake. And Zeb Noland's not going to start more than one game this year. So it's just, I've said it many times. I'll say it again. It's a fun storyline going into week one because anytime you're talking quarterback, it's fun to go back and forth, but it's really a non-story. I'm telling you, when we look back in December and the season's over, and hopefully we're 6-6 and we're playing, we're preparing to go to a bowl game, it's going to be a footnote. Hey, remember when Zeb Noland started game one? That was funny, wasn't it? Everybody freaked out for nothing. I think that's how that's the way we're going to look at it. Because Luke Doty's QB1, dude. He is. He's this team's starting quarterback, bottom line. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think what people don't really understand is that, here in South Carolina and in Columbia, the hype around Beamer is so immense, and we just feel like we can win 8 games. I've heard some people say we're going like 9-3 or something like that.
Right.
But if you read anything from the national pundits or anybody in the national media, they're not even giving us 4 wins. Yeah. They think we're winning 3 to 4 games this year. Yeah. And the whole reason behind it is because Beamer's unproven, all this stuff. So yeah, I mean, I would just tell people to take into account.
Yeah, I mean,
what's going on here. Yeah. We got a brand new head coach, and he's got to prove himself first before we can, get worked up about him, potentially losing games. Yeah. Right.
I mean, I'm locked in at 6-6. I feel good about it, but again, you make a great point, and I'm not saying that like the national guys know everything, because they don't, right? Like we know more about the program than they do, but there's a lot more people picking South Carolina to go 4-8 than go 8-4. So, I'm not saying they're not idiots, but that should make you temper expectations just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, nobody that's not a South Carolina fan is picking Carolina to go 8-4. And I know I feel like I've talked about that over and over, so I don't want to beat a dead horse. But no, yeah, you're right. It's going to be interesting this year. I know it's a crazy story. It is a crazy story. Zeb Noland starting the first game. And that's kind of why I told people a couple weeks ago, listen, this first year for Beamer, man, he is going to be trying to plug the pieces and just pull this thing together to get to 6 wins. He's trying to squeeze blood out of a rock. I hate to break it to people, but this is not some elite level roster. This is not some big time SEC roster this year. There are a lot of problems on this roster that the only way they'll be solved is in recruiting. Now, that is not me saying there are not good players on this team. There are, but top to bottom, like I think stuff like you're seeing like the Zeb Noland thing, bro, there's just going to be some wacky shit that happens this year. Like it's year 1, you know? I mean, there's going to be some crazy kind of stuff. You're going to look and be like, wow. I mean, who would have predicted this? This is insane. So just let Beamer work. Give him time. He's not Muschamp. He hasn't messed up at another school. Like the guy, in my opinion, I believe in innocent until proven guilty. I believe give the guy the benefit of the doubt until he, people. It's funny, man. People, today is the 2-year anniversary of the hashtag Firewall Muschamp video after the UNC game. And so when Beamer was hired, people were like, oh, when I was celebrating us getting Beamer, there were, people trying to hate in the comments, like, oh, you're going to be the first guy to call for his job. And I'm like, well, I mean, listen. If in year 5 we have a 5th-year head coach and we lose to a first-year head coach with a freshman quarterback from a team that had 2 wins the year before, I might raise an eyebrow. Yeah, no kidding. But at least in the beginning, man, you got to give Beamer time, dude. I mean, you got to trust his decision-making. They're making decisions that are going to best benefit Carolina football. I fully believe that. So, this first season is going to be interesting, man. And I would just tell Gamecock fans, just buckle up and hang on for the ride because it's going to be a pretty wild time, I think. So.
Yeah, and I mean, you were talking about Colton Gauthier hitting the transfer portal and coming to Newberry, and I just graduated from Newberry in 21.
Hey, go Wolves!
And I'll tell you what, yeah, if I went out there and tried out for the team, I would probably have more than a 0% chance of potentially walking onto that football team. And I'm a graduate student at Carolina right now.
Nice. Yeah.
If I tried out for the Carolina football team, I would have a negative chance of
yeah. I mean, it's no slight to my alma mater, but my point was just, the grass is not always greener on the other side. So it's like, baseball is a sport where you can transfer to a lower level and it doesn't matter. If you're a really good player, you'll get drafted. Baseball and football are different. They just are, right? Like baseball, the game doesn't change very much as you go down lower levels. In football, the game changes immensely because things like size, speed, weight, those things matter. Those don't matter in baseball, right? I mean, to a degree they do, but like you can be 5'6" and throw 95, or you can be 6'6" and throw 95. But if you throw 95, it's the same thing. But you can't hit a guy with the same power at 5'6" versus 6'6". You can't do it. You just cannot do it. So it's a much different type of deal. So, I mean, I'm just saying that, yeah, if Colton Gauthier wants to transfer and go down a level, sure, but it's going to be a lot harder for him to get drafted, which is his ultimate goal. If you're at the SEC level, bro, you're playing football, you have an aspiration of being at the next level. So, I mean, dude, he's a true freshman. Let him grow, let him develop, let him work. I mean, the kid chose South Carolina because he loves the university and wants to be here. So, yeah, the transfer portal thing is silly, to say the least. But yeah, no, dude, I appreciate the call, man. Go Wolves, like I said, and go Cox as well. This will be a very fun season. I'm sure that I will hear from you again and would like to. So it'll be a good time. There's no doubt.
All right, you have a good one, man.
Yeah, man. Take care. Appreciate it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Phone lines are jumping today. Phone lines are absolutely jumping today. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That is 843. 843-790-3377. Cox Rugby just sent me a video. Sorry, guys. Just want to reply to my guy. Let's see. Okay. Again, taking your questions, comments, calls, guys. 843-790-3377. 15 minutes. We will be tuned in to Shane Beamer's media availability. Ridge Alford, who better to be your backup starting, or who better to back up your starting quarterback than someone with game time experience and also help draw up the playbook? Pretty easy decision. Makes sense to me, at least for game one. Robert C. Child, 6 wins or bust. Doc Graybeard, Beamer has forgotten more about football than most of us will ever know. He has been on the field nearly from birth, coached alongside Frank Beamer, Steve Spurrier, Lincoln Riley, on and on and on. Yeah. Ryan Hood, Jason Brown made 2 good throws in the spring game. He's the best quarterback on the team. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's a lot of fans, man. I hate to say it, but that's a lot of fans. Well, I mean, he threw a touchdown to E.J. Jenkins in the spring game when E.J. Jenkins, 6'7.5", was being covered by a 5'9" white guy that's a walk-on. I mean, he obviously has to be the best quarterback. There's no question. He can obviously throw way better than Luke Doty. Give me a break. Give me a break. Come on, man. All right, let's jump back to the phone lines here. The phone lines are ringing off the hook. Again, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. How's it going? You're on the air. I think that was a mistake. I don't know what happened there. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. If you were trying to call in, my apologies there. I don't know who that might have been. Let's see. Again, questions, comments, calls as well. Chandler Davis, who leads the team in rushing yards in the first week? I will go. I will say Marshawn Lloyd. I think Lloyd's going to play a ton. I think he's going to go off. Have a really, really good game. Jalen Brooks, speaking to the reporters now, says, quote, coming out of high school, I would have never envisioned myself here at South Carolina starting for an SEC school. It's just a blessing. Yeah, Jalen Brooks starting at wide receiver. Who'd have thunk? Let's see. Roy Gwynn, has Colton talked about transferring? No, he has not. Other people have talked about that. So, no, he has not. Doc Graybeard, to compete, it takes several top 10 recruiting classes back-to-back. Then and only then you have a shot at winning the East, playing Atlanta, likely against Bama, who just had the highest rated class ever. Yeah, you got to recruit to win, bottom line. Josh Smith, why was Lloyd RB2 on the depth chart? Josh, he wasn't. They were all running back one. They were all basically running back one. It was or. And I think the reason that is, again, Kevin Harris is down with the injury with his back, and I just think they're all going to play. So I don't know. They didn't want to name a starting running back. I don't know. They're all going to play anyways. What difference does it make? Quan, Marshawn, Rashad, Juju, they're all going to play. Bottom line, they're all going to play. Let's jump back to the TDC questions channel, the Big Cock Club Discord. Let's see. Keith says, don't know why you're getting so upset. I just asked if you thought Colton would leave because that's how it's done nowadays. Keith, I'm not getting upset. It's just, I'm not just speaking to you, Keith. I was just speaking to all the comments I've seen. I got like 10 DMs about people saying, hey, is Jason going to hit the transfer portal? Is Colton going to do it? So I'm not upset, but I'm just passionately answering your question, Keith, if that's the answer you want. Sperminator says, I know everyone's talking about running it constantly, but this is the perfect game to work the wide receivers a lot. And I think they will, Sperminator. I'll be interested to see what the balance is between run and pass. I really will. But again, this is just going to be a game that I think you lean on the running game, especially early, to build a lead. Then you can start to spread it out and throw it around. I mean, if you're running it for 8, 9, 10 yards a pop, what's the point in throwing the ball? I mean, honestly. So, Alex Mitchum, 12. No, trust me, I got it, my guy. We got the YouTube video pulled up right here side by side. So trust me, I got you. 12 minutes until Shane Beamer speaks to the media. Doc Graybeard Health, be thankful we have 2 backups that can step in that haven't always been the case. I bet Clemson would love to have Zephyr Brown backing up DJ. Let's see. Matt Navala, keep the passionate responses going. Well, I just wanted to let Keith know, I'm not mad at you, Keith. It's just, I've seen so much of that, and it's like, dude, just what are we talking about with the transfer portal? So, again, in case you missed it, somehow, some way, the big news of the day, Zeb Noland named QB1 for this weekend's game against EIU, and the rest of the depth chart has been released as well. Shane Beamer speaking at 1:15 to the media. We will watch that together. Let's jump back to the phone lines here. Mr. Popular. Phil, what's up, man?
Hey, man, I'm about 20 minutes behind in the stream here, but I hope that's been your cornflakes today, man. You're fired up, Jack.
I mean, yeah, it's today has been. You ever seen you're a big fan of Batman when Joker talks about chaos and being a proponent of chaos? That's how it's felt today. Like today is chaos. Like today is chaos.
Absolutely.
That's what makes covering South Carolina so much fun. Is it's nonstop, never-ending chaos. So.
I'll tell you what, man. I think a lot of it has to do with the trauma that the Will Muschamp era inflicted on us. All the bad times that we've had in the past couple of years. So, a lot of that is just creeping back in with, creeping its ugly head back into the scenario here. So, yeah, everybody calm down. We're all set. It doesn't matter who's quarterback as long as they win games and help us win games, rather. That's all that really matters. So, yeah, it's going to be okay, everybody. We're all triggered right now based on the depth chart that we've seen. But, this first game, it doesn't matter if me, Chris, and a bunch of other drunks got onto the field. We still beat Eastern Illinois. So
dude,
that's not really the problem.
Bro, like Coach John Roberts said, talking about the drunk 10, we could take the D10 and go win by 28. There's no question.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure we could.
Yeah.
Tackles better than most of the guys out there anyway. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, probably sure. I'll tell you, I don't know. Again, I know you said you're tuned in. It's like behind a little bit. I don't know if you heard me tell the previous caller, though, man, but again, it's like South Carolina fans, at least in this first year with Beamer, and I get it to an extent. They're like, it's like being in a relationship and you get cheated on or you get wronged, you get lied to, and then you break up with them and you go to the next relationship, but you're projecting all of the previous things that happened on the new person and you're holding on to those emotions and projecting on the new. That's what's happening right now with Gamecock fans. I think that's what's happening. The scar tissue has not fully healed yet. So.
Yep. It's just trauma, man, and the way that you deal with that is just, more positive experiences and time. Time heals all wounds. So hopefully we've got it right here with Beamer. I believe in him. There's no reason not to believe in him at this point. So all we got to do now is spot the damn ball. All this talking and all this hype that happens with American football, that's, because it's such a long, period between games, right? There's all this time for people to talk about and figure out what they think is going to happen with the game. All that really matters is spot the damn ball and let's play.
Yeah, exactly. Again, like I said, I think for those like yourself and others who have, very in tune with Gamecock football, and you're obviously very in tune with this show, and, none of us are surprised that Zeb Noland's getting a nod. None of us. I think the people that are freaking out are, again, the ones who are, and again, it's no, it's no slight say, oh, if you're not tuned in every day, like your opinion isn't valid. I'm not saying that, but like, I think there's some people that, believe it or not, are blindsided because they haven't been that, tuned in, and they're like, well, who the hell's Zeb Noland? Oh, my God, Colin Hill all over again. And again, they're, like I said earlier, they're probably saying that while they're rocking their Ryan Helinski jersey to dinner tonight or something. So, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's a lot of it's coming from that, and, whatever. People don't want to think critically about it and understand that, I don't even want to open the can of worms. It is the Hill Helinski thing. But, and again, Shane Beamer's never showed he can't develop a quarterback worth a damn. He's never shown that he is a destroyer of quarterbacks like the previous coach. So there was reason to doubt the previous coach and the previous regime on who they chose to be starting quarterback. You got to give Beamer the benefit of the doubt until he shows you, until he proves, hey, this dude don't know what he's talking about when it comes to quarterbacks. None of us have any valid reason or should be trying to slam. And again, it's a one game thing. Like that's what blows my mind, dude. That's what blows my mind.
Yeah, for sure. I think for the casuals, it's definitely a curveball because they're like, who the hell? Yeah, exactly. Like, who's Zeb? Who is this guy? But I mean, ultimately, curveballs are going to happen in college football. This is the way it is, especially with this roster. So we're going to be fine, especially with this first week. I'm really starting to wonder about going forward, but that's just the way it is with us at this point. With this being the first year and the roster's not as great as it could be potentially, and as it will be. Hopefully, that's probably the best way to put it. This roster is going to be better next year than it is this year, and so on and so forth. The damn will better be.
I mean, Phil. I mean, this is no slight to anybody on the roster. It really isn't, because hey. Just like Spurrier's teams, right? Like that first team, that first year, that was a special team. That second year was a special team. Like those first couple of Spurrier teams are some of my favorite teams ever. But yeah, dude, if you could get Shane Beamer in a room and have him be honest with you, maybe you crack a cold beer and talk to coach. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, God willing, he's still the coach, have a ton of success. Yeah, dude, he'd look back and say, man, that first-year roster was by far the worst one we've had. It better be.
Yeah.
It better be the worst one, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
man, you got to just find a way to plug the pieces together and navigate this season, get to a bowl game if you can do that. That's why I keep saying it will be a fantastic season if you can do that.
Amen. I agree. And go Cox.
Go Cox. Appreciate you, Phil.
Bye.
Good stuff. 843-790-3377, guys. It's 843-790-3377. As soon as this Shane Beamer presser goes live, I've got it pulled up here on YouTube. We will tune into that. We got about 5 minutes till Shane Beamer will be speaking to the media. Let's see. Brian McGuffey says, I love watching this guy, and he looks like a guy that would be fun to have a beer with and talk Gamecock football. However, this guy's a fan and not anywhere near an analyst. I love the positivity. This guy's wrong far more times than he is right. Here's to a great season. Brian, appreciate you, man. Honestly, I like to think I'm a good guy to have a beer with, and yeah, I mean, I am a fan with a media entity, podcast, whatever you want to call it. I don't pretend to be an analyst, Brian. Don't pretend to be an analyst. So I'm not going to pretend to be anything I'm not. But to think that I don't know anything going on with Gamecocks football is very, very funny. That is very funny. Anyways, let's see. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. And Brian, wrong more times than right. I hate how many times I'm right. To be honest with you, I wish I was wrong more often than I am right. Hell, I called Muschamp's firing 2 years ago, and look what happened. Let's see. Connor, he's only starting because Doty isn't ready. Fans are not. I love it, man. I love it. It's awesome. This is a lot of fun. Brian also says we get through the game the best we can, run the ball, pass, and need to focus on making a few mistakes as possible. There will be mistakes as this is a young team, so learn from those mistakes and get ready for ECU. Hope we get Doty back at 100% as soon as possible because he's by far the best quarterback on the roster. I'm going to be watching our offensive coordinator, how he calls the game. Brian, you're obviously an analyst because that was some very in-depth, crazy in-depth level analysis there. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. And we've said that many, many times on the Daily Crow here if you've tuned in longer than 30 seconds any day that we are live. All right, cool. Tyler Knoll says, we the people need a Slapdick shirt. Yeah, I would agree. Actually, I think Slapdick merch might be coming very, very soon. It's a popular day to be a Slapdick today, folks. Very popular day. Matt Navala, keep the passionate responses going. Too many plain, boring shows out there. I appreciate it. Robert says, realistically, we can win 6+. EIU, ECU, Troy, Vandy, Kentucky, and/or Tennessee, and at least one of A&M, Auburn, and Florida. Just 6-6 would be a great year. I'm going to leave it at that. 6-6 will be a fantastic year. I've picked it. It'll be a great year when it happens. So, let's see. Again, 843-790-3377. Brian McGuffey says he watches every show. Brian, I'm actually really impressed then if you watch every show and I'm wrong every day and you still tune in. That, my friend, is dedication. So thank you. All right, let's share this screen here. And we will get Shane Beamer's presser going. Okay. There we go. All right, cool. Trad says, I've seen so many people picking Kentucky to finish second in the East, and that's so wild to me. They are not that good. A lot of people are high on Kentucky. Trad. A lot of people are, believe it or not. All right. Let's see. Brian says, baseball, you were wrong almost every game. Was I? I don't think I was, but now basketball I was. It was like whatever I picked, the opposite happened. Hey, basketball was a crazy season, Brian. Basketball was a crazy season. Brian, I'd love to see your picks, by the way. We'll compare at the end of the season. How about that? Gambling picks. Every Wednesday I'll have my gambling picks. You and I, we'll go game to game. We'll compare. How about that? Some fun competition. That'll be fun. Tyler Knoll, the walk-ons on this football team can beat EIU. It doesn't matter who the damn quarterback is for game one. This fan base is a bad case of PTSD from the previous regime. I can assure you Beamer isn't anywhere close to Muschamp. Just have patience and trust in Beamer. Yeah, James Kendall, pretty sure I did nail the final record in baseball. I had 16 and 14 in the conference, and sure enough, we went exactly 16 and 14 as I predicted. Yeah, I don't know. It's all in good fun, man. I don't care. Listen, you give as many predictions and projections and opinions as I do. I hate to spoil it, guys. You're going to be wrong. You're going to be wrong. I challenge you to show me someone who has 100% success rate when it comes to predictions, because there are none out there. And if you have 100%, you don't make predictions. That's it. You know, I've seen some of the Gamecock outlets. I'm not going to make a prediction because there's too many unknowns. Are you kidding me? Golly, what? I can't even fathom not. And I mean, to each their own. I don't care. Like, whatever you want to do, but I can't even fathom going into a season and not making predictions for the season. I can't even fathom that. So, to each their own, though. To each their own. I can tell you what, this show, we will be making predictions, whether I'm right, wrong, and I will own it either way, by the way. I will own it either way. So that is at least what I'll give you, Brian. Hey, I owned it, Brian. When I was wrong every basketball game, dude, I started saying I'm just gonna start picking against Carolina so we win. And it worked. For a little while it worked. So whatever. You give as many predictions as I do, like I said, Brian. You're gonna be wrong very often. You're gonna be wrong, bottom line. Let's see. Can we answer maybe one more question before Beamer go? Dude, we have so many questions. They're like, here we go. All right. Let's tune into Beamer. Enough of me talking.
Yep, absolutely. Appreciate everybody coming out. Game week.
Let me know if audio is
Been a long time
messing up or not.
coming. A ton of excitement and energy in this facility right now. We had our normal Tuesday morning 8 a.m. team meeting. Everyone was in here early and ready to roll. And then went out there and had a fantastic Tuesday practice, all three phases, which was really fantastic and awesome to see. That's going to be back this year, so I would hope that is the biggest and best one ever to welcome our football team to the stadium when they arrive on Saturday evening. We've missed our fans, and that's a great opportunity for our fan base to show our football players how much you've missed them as well. Would hope everybody would be in their seats early and create an awesome environment. I know it'll be cranked up during the game. I hope it's going to be a great environment pregame as well. I know I can count on the cockpit in Williams-Brice Stadium Saturday night. I know they will bring it and fire it up to see those guys at it. And we've got a great group of recruits that'll be here for the game on Saturday night as well. One young man coming in on an official visit, so we need to put on a great show for them as well. Can't wait to get going. From an injury standpoint, Trey Atkins and Wyatt Campbell both practiced today. They should be fine for Saturday night, which is really good to see. Luke was out there, didn't really do much. Doubt he's going to be 100% Saturday night, but he was out there at practice. Hank Manos is probably doubtful for Saturday night. Don't know if he's quite going to be ready to make it back. And then Rick Sandage is the one that'll definitely be out for Saturday, but hope to get him back soon. Fired up about playing Eastern Illinois this weekend. It's funny, my dad's very last game as the head coach at Murray State University. I was in fourth grade, and it was against Eastern Illinois, at Eastern Illinois in what was then the 1AA, but now called the FCS. The FCS playoffs, the Murray State Racers went up to Eastern Illinois and lost to them in a playoff game, quarterbacked by Sean Payton, our current head coach for the New Orleans Saints. So pretty ironic that his last game before he took the head coaching job at Virginia Tech was against Eastern Illinois, and my first game as the head coach is against Eastern Illinois here at South Carolina. Really looking forward to seeing Bill Roth He will be the play-by-play announcer for ESPN on Saturday night. He was the longtime voice of the Hokies at Virginia Tech, came into Virginia Tech in 1988, my dad's second year as head coach, and was the radio play-by-play guy for pretty much my dad's entire career. So it'll be pretty cool to see Bill, who essentially watched me grow up from the age of 11 until I came back to Virginia Tech to coach. Excited to see him. Obviously, they lost Saturday night. Got an impressive group, though. I mean, they did not play their best, certainly the first three quarters, talking about Eastern Illinois. They've got an impressive group of transfers that have come in. There are some significant playmakers for them. If you look at their game the other night, had 3 turnovers, one of which was in the red zone going in to score. They had an interception that was returned for a touchdown when it bounced off the running back's hands. Had the ball at the end of the game with a chance to win it. So that's a game I'm sure they look at and feel like they had every opportunity to win it. They got better as the game went on. That was obvious. You look at it in the fourth quarter, Eastern Illinois' offense was out there for 30 plays in the fourth quarter alone, which means they were on pace to run 120 plays that night. Eastern Illinois' defense was on the field for 5 plays in the fourth quarter the other night. So it's certainly a team that got better as the game went on. I see a group on defense that flies around, plays really, really hard, great group, great tacklers. And then offensively, they've got a really, really athletic quarterback that's got experience. There's so many times going back and you watch his video from last year, you watch his video from Saturday night, that he should be sacked. Any other quarterback, it is a sack. And next thing you know, he's getting out of the pocket, scrambling, has his eyes downfield, and he's hitting explosive plays in the pass game. So we've certainly got to do a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage and handling their quarterback and his athleticism. And then they've got some impressive group of running backs that complement each other well. They all have different styles, and we got to do a great job of tackling them as well. But excited for the opportunity to go play. It's our first opponent, and we talk to our team always. It's about us, no matter who we're playing. We started that off today with a great practice on Tuesday and expect that to continue for the rest of the week. So I know, obviously, the topic of conversation, what everyone is here today and wants to talk about is our uniforms. And what we're credit Fink on that one. He actually mentioned doing that. So very good, Fink. Is our uniforms. We're going to wear white helmets, garnet jerseys, and white pants on Saturday night. So there is your uniform reveal for the week. We are very thankful that Under Armour takes great care of us and gives us a lot of uniform options and combinations. But we're not going to get into every single week spending time and wasting a whole lot of time as a team trying to figure out what we're wearing on Saturdays. Let's worry about how we play, not what we're wearing. And I've told the players that, and they're on board. Does not mean we won't mix it up from time to time, but let's worry about preparing ourselves to play the very best in the 10, 15 minutes that they spent last year and in previous years figuring out what they're wearing. That could have been spent preparing for the opponent and getting themselves ready to play. So we'll certainly mix it up. Our players will have a say in what they're wearing. I'll certainly listen to them if there's options that they want to have, but we're not going to come out there wearing a different uniform for the next 12 weeks. I can assure you that. In all seriousness, we named Zeb Noland our starting quarterback for this week. He's a guy, obviously he has Power 5 experience. It wasn't that long ago. He played in a playoff game a few months ago. He is very efficient, getting us in and out of the huddle, commanding the offense, controlling what's going on out there. He has a great understanding of what we're doing offensively because he spent the entire summer, as I know he told you guys, drawing up the playbook and coaching. So we've got a lot of confidence in Zeb being able to go out there and operate at a high level on Saturday night. We're not asking him to go win the football game. We'll never ask our quarterbacks to do that. We want to ask him to get us in and out of the huddle cleanly and efficiently without pre-snap penalties. Let's hand the ball to our running backs. Let's get the ball to our playmakers on offense at wide receiver, tight end, and running back. Offensive line, let's do a great job of running the football and protecting the quarterback, and let's go play. So we're not asking Zeb to go win the game on Saturday night. We're asking him to operate the offense efficiently, and we feel like he does the best job of that right now from an offensive standpoint. We have a ton of confidence in all of our quarterbacks, no matter who's out there. Colton, Connor, Jason, or Luke, if he were to able to really come along in the next few days and be 100%. And having said that, I told Luke this morning and telling you guys now, I'm never going to put a player out there when he's not ready to play. If Luke's not 100%, it's not worth it, no matter who we're playing. I want him to be out there and be at his best, where he can do what he does best and protect his health as well. But got confidence in all those quarterbacks. Whoever is out there on Saturday night, we have no issues. We run our offense the same way, but felt like Zeb was a little bit farther along, and that's why we made that decision. But again, let's not – I know what the narrative may be out there, so let's forget about and lose the narrative of he hasn't played a football game in 2 or 3 years, and he was walking up and down the halls like Uncle Rico talking about what he did back in the day as a quarterback. He played quarterback a couple months ago. He's been 3 months ago. He's been a graduate assistant coach since June. So like I told you guys when we activated him to our roster, he's played in a college football game a hell of a lot more recently than anyone on our team. Is it a little bit unique? Yes, but it wasn't, like I said, that he played a couple years ago. He played a few months ago. He's been a coach for basically 2 months as a graduate assistant when he was heavily involved working with the players and things like that also. So got a lot of confidence in him, got a lot of confidence in the rest of the quarterbacks, and fired up for Saturday night. We'll worry about trying to beat Eastern Illinois, and then we'll take it from there. So with that, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Shane, with the quarterback situation, is this a case of once Luke is 100%, the competition will reopen, or will Luke step right in and be starter again?
Yeah, I mean, I know you got to ask that. We're worried about beating Eastern Illinois, and that's all I'm focused on. We just had a great Tuesday practice. Let's go out there and have a great Wednesday practice right now. Let's rally around Zeb and the quarterbacks that are playing Saturday night, and hopefully we can play our best on Saturday night and win this one, and then we'll worry about East Carolina and what's next after that.
Shane, as far as the timeline, I mean, when did you feel like that Zeb really separated himself and was the guy for you guys? I mean, was there a point in or a practice that you guys really felt like this feels like the guy we want to go with week one?
No, I mean, honestly, day one when Zeb started playing quarterback, I mean, there was, I don't want to say difference, but there was a little bit of a spark, and he came in it wasn't like he walked in that huddle the very first day of practice and was overwhelmed and didn't know what to do. He got in there, he called the play, he was able to get up at the line of scrimmage, he was able to change the protection based on where the pressure was coming from, and was really able to operate. I think it was a blitz period we had where we go against our defense. It's all blitzes, it's all third down, and our guys are coming from everywhere. And he went out there and probably had the most impressive blitz period that we had as a team during preseason camp. Not that it had been bad with the other ones, but just knowing where to go with the ball, knowing where he was protected, knowing when to get rid of it. It was just really impressive. So he started that day and then just, stayed consistent. But like I talked about before, from that day, Jason and Colton and Connor, they all got better because of it, after that as well. So I don't know if there was a certain moment. What I told you guys before was true, that we wanted to give Zeb plenty of opportunity with the first group since he hadn't had it until 2 weeks ago or whenever Luke got hurt. We got Jason some work with the first group last week as well. It wasn't like Zeb's been working with the ones for the last 2 weeks. We've been kind of mixing it up, and that's what we did towards the tail end of practice last week. But, that's where we are. And I met with Jason yesterday, met with Zeb yesterday, and, told him what we were doing, and away we go.
Shane, just what was the conversation like with Jason? How did he kind of take it, and what's the plan in terms of how many quarterbacks you want to play on Saturday?
Yeah, Jason was disappointed. He came in my office yesterday. I love Jason. Like, Jason comes in my office probably twice a day just to pop in and say hello and sit down and shoot the bull. And he came in yesterday, and no one has worked harder to put himself in the position that he's in than Jason. I mean, we told him he had to lose weight, and if you were around here this summer, you'd look out there on the practice field, and he'd be out there by himself just running extra, trying to lose weight, doing everything. So much respect for him. And that's why I have confidence in him if he's out there on Saturday night. But he was certainly disappointed. I told him, why we're making the decision that we did, that it wasn't an indictment on him. It's just where Zeb is right now, and we need to make sure the guy that's out there that gives us the best chance to win. And for a lot of different reasons, we felt like Zeb was that guy right now. But I told Jason, and I think he told you guys well, I mean, I'd love to be able to get him in the game and get him going on Saturday night. Now that's going to depend on how he practices. I've watched before I came in here. I was at practice, obviously, but watched about a fourth of the practice tape before I came in here. And as soon as I leave, I'll go back and finish watching practice, and we'll see how he practices Wednesday and Thursday and Friday in our walkthrough. And if he earns the right to play, I'd love to be able to get him in there and get him going early.
Shane, when Jason came in and just spoke a little while ago, I mean, he was very impressive in terms of just how he went about things. Just as your experience as a former player and just obviously as a coach, as an assistant, and now where you are currently, how much can that make a difference on a team, especially younger guys that are coming in and still trying to figure out what college football is all about?
Yeah, I think it's huge. He's a guy I think that he hasn't been here long, but has the respect of the people, on this team. They see how hard he works, and that's impressive that he did that. I talked to him this morning about it, and talking to the media, and then he had the class issue as well, so he had an easy excuse if he didn't want to come in here, and he owned up and came in here, and I think it's fantastic. It really is. I mean, it says what he's about. We talk about in this program, accountability is one of the core values we talk about all the time, and that's being accountable, coming here and answering questions. And he was certainly disappointed, but a lot of people in that situation would have blown you guys off and gone to class and sat around and pouted and things like that. And he came out today and competed, had a great mindset and great attitude at practice, and had a good day out there at practice. So it's no surprise. I mean, he's not a young guy either. I mean, he's played snaps before, and he and EJ have obviously played a lot of snaps together at St. Francis. So he's a guy that's, he's been around the block a little bit, and it's no surprise at all to hear you say that. But it's certainly when the younger guys see an older guy handling that situation like that, I think it's great.
Shane, how are you handling what's got to be the immense amount of excitement and anticipation that you're going through this week? Or are there just so many things to do that you haven't even thought about?
No, I've thought about it. It's just trying to not be cliche, but just process and just stay on what's important right now. And certainly it wasn't like we got to Sunday and it was, oh crap, we're in game week, all these things I got to do. I mean, I've been thinking ahead and preparing and everything. I mean, there's just so many things that you, as the head coach, that you just kind of took for granted as an assistant. And it's when it's the first time, whether it's, what time the buses leave Friday to go to the hotel, what's our schedule at the hotel, what do we wear to the team dinner on Friday night at the hotel, what do we wear to meetings on Saturday morning, and what time do the meetings start? And I spent a lot of time pregame warm-up, what time do we come out, and all that. There's just so many things that you think through, and I've been doing that long before this week, so thank God that I was ahead from that standpoint. But still, when you get to game week, there's still always that, I got to do this, we got to do that, I forgot about that, what about this? And there's all kinds of different scenarios, and we've covered and gone over as much of it as we could with the players as well and the coaches, where we can get into this week and just focus on preparing to play on Saturday night. But for me, it's doing that, focusing on what I got to do right now. As soon as I walk out of here, it'll be finishing watching the practice tape, start getting ready for third down, which is what we practice tomorrow, and be up here late tonight working on that, and then back at it Wednesday morning, and then on we go. But certainly, I'd love to sit up here and give you Coach speak about how focused I am on the game, and I don't think about all that other stuff, but that's a bunch of crap. I mean, I'm fired up and excited and can't wait. And I talked to the team about it this morning. I mean, one of the things we talked about as a team was controlling your emotions, that Saturday is Saturday night is going to be a big deal for all of us, and there's going to be a lot of excitement and energy and all that stuff, and we got to make sure we don't go in there and we're just so emotional that we go in there and lose our minds and forget about what we have to do to prepare to play. And I told them, I said, I'm in the same boat. I mean, I'm going to be jacked up when we do Gamecock Walk and jacked up when we do when 2001 plays and all that stuff. But you also got to remember what's important and focusing on the task at hand as well.
Are Kevin Harris and Cam Smith going to be available?
I'm sorry. Should have mentioned them also. Yeah, Cam was out there today. Kevin should be good, and Cam was out there today and practiced, looked fantastic. And credit Cam for his rehab and the way that he's handled everything. I mean, he's a guy that when he first got hurt, East Carolina was probably the most likely realistic for him to be back. I mean, there was a chance all along that he'd be back for the first game. I didn't lie to you guys, but it was best case scenario. And Cam's absolutely attacked his rehab to be able to go out there and Cam. I think Cam would love to play 70 plays Saturday night if he could. He was out there in practice today and looked great.
And tomorrow being September 1st and y'all being able to get back out on the road for the first time in forever and contacting juniors and all that, how excited are you guys for that, I guess, point in the recruiting phase?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously the first step was June 1st when they were able to come visit us, and now it's exciting to be able to get out and visit them. So couldn't be more excited about it. Having recruits here on Saturday night. Some of our coaches will be out on Friday at some high school games on Friday night, and that's the next part of it. So love being able to get out and spread the message of Gamecock football and go watch some high school football games and fired up to be able to start communicating with current juniors in high school. Excited to be able to get it back out on the road and visit their schools and watch some Friday night football in person. And I'm looking forward to being able to do that myself when time allows.
Shane, breaking down Zeb's skill set a little bit from your vantage point, is he a pocket guy? Does he bring some mobility like Luke does? How much different will the offense be with him under center and operating it for you guys?
Yeah, he and Jason are probably more alike from a skill set standpoint than Luke. Luke's a little bit different. Not that Luke can't sit in the pocket and throw, but Luke does have a little bit more athleticism if he breaks out of the pocket and being able to be a threat to run the football. But Zeb's not a statue back there either. Probably the biggest challenge for him was just getting in football shape and losing some weight once he became the quarterback, which he's tried to do also. So we haven't changed the offense. I mean, obviously Sat's going to cater to what Zeb and Jason are most comfortable with as they go into Saturday night, but it's not like we've changed anything. I would say more his skill set is more of your pure drop back passer that is athletic enough to run the football. He's not a bad athlete by any stretch of the imagination. Now, I don't know if he's going to go out there. If he and Luke Doty go race, Luke's probably going to win every single time. But it doesn't mean that Zeb's a statue back there and can't move either. He's athletic enough to get himself out of trouble, and Jason has as well. I mean, Jason's really improved that aspect of his game and being able to get himself out of trouble in the pocket.
Running back's a position that's obviously going to roll a lot over the course of a game. But what goes into making that decision this week on who gets the first carries?
Good question. A lot of it is production since spring practice and preseason camp, and Coach Hardesty. He, like all of our guys on offense, I mean, he tracks everything and holds guys accountable for everything. So whether it be, good plays or not so good plays, it's kind of an inventory of everything that we've done in preseason camp. And, having said that, we'll see how practice goes this week. I mean, they're all going to play. Who takes the first carry, I don't know. We'll figure that out later this week. And a lot of it may be based on personnel as well. Whatever Sat decides the first play of the game is going to be on Saturday night, it may be something that we have a specific package for Juju, and Juju's on the field for that, or maybe it's Marshawn, or maybe it's Kevin, or maybe it's Zaquandre. I don't know. Who knows? May not be any running backs out there. Maybe 3 running backs out there. We got a great group, so we'll just see what the first play holds.
Shane, I know on opening night everyone has to have butterflies, and those butterflies are probably a little bit larger. If you've never been in an environment, an atmosphere like you'll have here on Saturday night, is that comforting to you, knowing that Zeb has seen some of that atmosphere while he was at Iowa State, and did that help give him a little bit of an edge when it came time to decide who was going to be the starter?
Yeah, sure. And yes, that wasn't really a deciding factor that we didn't think Jason could handle that. He certainly can. But certainly the fact that Zeb's been in big games before, he's played in the Big 12 at Oklahoma and Texas and in front of 80+ thousand and whatnot at some of the stadiums you have in that league. So it's certainly a confidence not builder, but gives you confidence as a coach that it won't be his first time in that environment. But, Jason is he didn't play in front of those size crowds at St. Francis, but I'll say this about Jason. I mean, he elevates his game when the stakes are the highest, in my opinion, whether it be the Garnet and Black game when he made some really nice plays out there in April, whether it be in practice when we go in the stadium and have scrimmages. I think the brighter the lights from what I've seen, the better that Jason plays. Now, obviously, he hasn't been in lights as bright as what it's going to be on Saturday night, but I don't have any worries about him going out there and playing well.
Hey, Shane, obviously, as we're hearing, you've had a lot of personnel decisions to make throughout fall camp. One area that was mostly settled was with your field goal unit between White and Kai Kroger and Matthew Bailey. How has their fall camp been, and what's your level of confidence as far as that unit in the game?
Yeah, really good. Those are guys you just kind of – I said it in the preseason or maybe even at SEC Media Days. My dad used to always say when you've got a good kicking game and those specialists return that you got to – that's one of the things that precedes a good football team. So having those guys back at punter and kicker and all those guys returning certainly is a security blanket for us. They've had really good preseasons. They've improved on last year. And I like the fact that Pete Limbo, I think I mentioned it before to you guys, but Pete Limbo doesn't coach a position, or maybe it was on the radio show I mentioned it, I'm sorry, but he doesn't coach a position. So all he does is just work with those guys. So the position he coaches, it's not like a lot of places where the special teams coach is coaching the tight ends or the defensive backs or the running backs. He is the special teams coach, so he's a great resource for me during practice because he's another set of eyes that's a former head coach. But more importantly, he's able to get over there and work with those specialists from the time they step on the field until the practice is over. A lot of places I've been, the kickers, when they're not kicking, they're inside playing video games or they're in the indoor playing wiffle ball or whatever, not with our crew. I mean, they're working, and you're just as likely to look over there and seeing our guys doing tackling drills as you are kicking footballs. So, that's an asset for us that we're able to do that.
Shayna, everything's, been very good, kind of golden for you since you got hired 8 months ago. This Saturday, of course, social media being what it is, the first time there's a play somebody doesn't agree with, somebody's going to tweet about it. How do you handle that? Do you know what's coming? Is that part of your pregame preparation, knowing that this Saturday everything might start or there might be some things that aren't so golden?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like the honeymoon and then here we go. So that's just part of it. I mean, I want to coach somewhere where you have passionate fans that are into it, and we certainly have unbelievably passionate fans here at Carolina. That won't be afraid to voice their displeasure for decisions that we don't make. And that's just, that's part of it. I'm not going to, run into the locker room and all of a sudden jump on Twitter and look at my mentions. I can assure you that after the game, maybe after a win. But certainly not after a loss or where we don't play well. But no, I mean, it's part of it. Love a passionate fan base, and we have it. But, I grew up in the grew up the son of a football coach and grew up that way. And probably the biggest thing for me is with my children is they've had it pretty good here for the last 4 years. And not that it's not going to be here at South Carolina, but I mean, all my kids know is the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the where we go last, or Peach Bowl at Oklahoma, and then we won the Big 12 last year, and I wasn't there for the Cotton Bowl, so that's pretty much all they remember, especially my youngest. So it'll be making them understand that you've had it pretty good the last 4 years, where you've won 10 or 11 games or 12 or more, and I hope we do this year as well. But just preparing my children for how good they've had it the last few years as well, which we're going to have it here at some point soon too, and hopefully this year.
Shane, from a Luke standpoint, just what's the realistic timeline of when he might be able to actually put on some pads and practice with you guys?
I would hope, if not this week, certainly next week. We'll see how it goes. He's in tennis shoes. He's not in the boot anymore. He's not on the scooter. He's not in an air cast. I mean, he was out at practice following the quarterbacks around and was in tennis shoes today. So I think he'll continue to progress. It's only Tuesday. We'll see what happens Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Hopefully he comes along. But I think it's very realistic that as we go into next week that he'd be getting really, really close to 100%.
And Jalen Dickerson and Jakari both ended up on the 2 deep. Just what have you seen from them and the progress they've made to have them earn that spot?
Jalen and who? I'm sorry.
Jakari Caldwell.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking defense and defense. Just making plays. Jalen Dickerson, older guy that certainly motivated and didn't get to go through spring practice, but certainly came on at the end of spring practice, got to go the last couple days, I think, in practice, and just as, he's a leader and guy that somebody on the team respects. I know there were a couple issues this summer, and I was talking to a couple of the defensive backs about their thoughts on some things, and they were like, well, let's go talk to Jalen. He's the guy that we go to when there's questions like that. And him and Jalen Foster have both been fantastic back there from a leadership standpoint. And then Jakari, he and Ortre are working over there together as well with Josh Van and still trying to figure out what that rotation is going to be. But Jakari is a big body that we have size at the wide receiver position, and he's done a nice job of using his size to his advantage, and all those guys are continuing to compete. I mean, we feel pretty confident saying that Joyner and Van and Brooks, if there's a top 3, would be your top 3 right now. That's why they're listed as the starter. And then after that, all those guys are continuing to compete and come along, and a lot of it will be based on the play that we have called and the personnel we want in the game, and a lot of it will be situational as well, depending on where we are on the field.
So just with Zeb Noland, coming back in and everything, whenever Luke Doty is healthy and 100% again, how much competition will there be between them? Is there a
like
chance?
I told David, we're worried about Eastern Illinois this week, and then no, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. We're trying to beat Eastern Illinois, and then we'll get Luke healthy, and then we'll figure about all that after that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shane, you mentioned being able to have a guy like Pete Limbaugh on the sideline and how much of an asset that can be since he has that head coaching experience. Outside of Pete, and I guess you can include Pete in there as well, what will it look like on Saturday in terms of the coaches that will be up in the box and who'll be down on the field?
Yeah, Torian Gray will be in the box. Mark Satterfield will be on the box, and Kimry, I think, is what we have going in the box. So those 3 guys will be up there. Now, obviously, that's as we stand today. Things may change as we get closer to game time and figuring out the way that we want to, utilize certain or where we want to position people, because a lot of that is dependent on the, not everybody in the program is allowed to have a headset on in the press box or on the field. Certain guys aren't allowed to have a microphone where they can talk. So you have to, you really have to, that's another head coach thing you got to think about. You got to be strategic and who's where and who can do what, because not every single person that's on the coaching staff, graduate assistant, analyst, student assistant, can have headphones on, and some of them can't have microphones on, so it's kind of working through that. But that's the plan as far as the 10 on-field coaches are right now. And again, if we get closer to Saturday and feel like we need to do something different, we can. I mean, I've been places where I was at Georgia one year, and one of the coaches that started in the press box finished the game on the field just because there were issues that were going on during the game, and he felt like he needed to get down there and get it right. So I don't think we're going to have any of that, but we can always adjust as we get closer to kickoff. Good. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful week.
Okay. All right. We got about 13 minutes or so. We'll take your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. As Shane Beamer speaks to the media, updating everything. Again, what do you guys think? I thought Coach Beamer, very direct to the point, loved what he had to say about the uniforms, by the way. Was a huge fan of that. Not making the uniforms a big deal with the hype and the hoopla and the madness that we've seen with Battle Armor in the past. Not to say I would be mad if Battle Armor was still a thing, but, loved what he had to say in regards to going in the first game, focusing on winning the game, playing well versus spending more than 5 minutes talking about what they're going to wear. So white, garnet, white, the Gamecocks will rock. No shock there. We've been predicting that for a couple weeks now, but yeah, really, really good stuff. Yeah, love the energy. Beamer's the same guy, man. Shane Beamer's the same guy from the day you hired him as he is now. I don't see that changing. I think you're going to see a guy with a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and, somebody who's very enthusiastic and excited to be at South Carolina. Let's see. Robbie Davis says, I thought the interview was great. Just to remind myself, where are you going to be tailgating on Saturday? Might try to come by. Yeah, we'll be at Seawells. Seawells, spots 93 to 96. Seawells, spots 93 to 96. We'll be out there also, guys. Live show at Jay's Corner from 3 to 4, talking Gamecocks football, breaking down the game against EIU, all that good stuff. Going to be a really, really good time. Also, guys, we are live tomorrow night at Tin Roof, 5 to 7. Former Gamecocks tight end Andy Boyd will join me out at Tin Roof. Going to be a really, really good time. Also, guys, 50-cent wings and $3 drafts out at Tin Roof. Really good stuff. So come out there, 5 to 7 tomorrow night at Tin Roof. Friday, I'll be out with my guy Cox by 90 at Hall's Chop House in Columbia, right across the street from the State House, guys. We will be live out there. We'll get out there at 5 o'clock. 6 to 7 we'll actually be live here. So we'll be out. We've got a lot of stuff going on this week. A lot of stuff. Really, really excited, guys. Really, really excited. Would love to see you all out and about, and appreciate you guys. Love the support, man. Justin loved not only what he said, but how he said it blunt, direct, and not sugarcoated. Yeah, again, I think Shane Beamer is the same guy from the day he was hired. I think he's going to continue to be that guy for sure. Andy Cohn, Beamer's awesome, grows on me more and more with each presser. Adam Ritter, panic Ritter. Hit the panic button, Ritter. Are we going to win? You said yesterday they could start me and still win. Ritter, do you actually think we're going to lose Saturday? Like, I know the panic Ritter thing is like a funny gag, but do you actually seriously think we're going to lose? Do you? Brian McGuffey says 34 to 17 Gamecocks. What is your prediction for the game, Brian? I will lock in my official prediction on Friday, but I can tell you this: if South Carolina wins 34 to 17, I am very, very, very concerned for the rest of the season. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I mean, EIU as a team, you should have 34 points probably at halftime. I'm not joking. So. Yeah. Let's see. You can leave your questions, comments as well in the TDC questions channel, the Big Cock Club Discord, guys. Again, I thought what Shane Beamer said about the uniforms was incredible. I thought it was, just, no need for the hoopla, no need for the BS hype or anything like that. White garnet white. That's what we'll be rocking. We'll also probably be putting out uniform graphics in regards to what South Carolina is wearing. We'll probably put out uniform graphics on our own social media, but it's sounding like at least for a while, Battle Armor is going to be taking a break. It sounds like Battle Armor will probably be taking a break. But you know what? Again, I have no issues with it, man. I just it felt weird. It felt strange. I mean, listen, the content's great, but it felt strange to be putting out Battle Armor week after week, and we were just getting our asses kicked. So it sounded like we're going to be wearing a lot of white garnet white, a lot of big game garnet, a lot of all white. So I love that. I love that from Shane Beamer. Love that. Brian McGuffey, we've all got to rally behind this guy. It's going to be tough 2 to 3 years, but this guy's the right head coach for USC. Stick with him when the season gets tough. Indeed. Absolutely. Rick Sandage is out. Yeah, he's been out for a while with a leg injury. Steven says, if you could rate that press conference out of 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, what would you give it? I mean, I give it a 10, but every single one of them's been a 10. So, I mean, I thought it was a solid press conference. He updated everything as we expected, and there you go. So, Aaron Gibson, I watched the EIU game last night. Should be about 55 to 10 with South Carolina coasting in the fourth quarter. You noticed, by the way, also how Shane Beamer, he was asked about the competition reopening and what that'll mean. Luke Doty, he said, we're focused on beating EIU. That's what we're focused on. We're focused on beating EIU. Bottom line, point blank. He's not going to come out and say, oh, there's no competition. Once Luke Doty's back, he's obviously QB1, but he is. So, he is. So, Tyler Noel, I would not say it's concerning. No, I would not. I think Luke Doty is QB1. Bottom line discussion, when he is healthy, he is this team's best quarterback, and he will be the quarterback going throughout this season. Bottom line. That's if I'm wrong, you can call me on it. You can give me hell, but that's as far as I understand it. So, let's see. Wesley Newmar says 49 to 3 is what he's got his predicted scores. Like I said, I will lock in my official score prediction, guys, on Friday's show. Friday's show will be just like we've done the past couple of years. My Friday show will be my official prediction show where I'll lock it in, give you guys my official prediction. In the preseason, obviously, I had the Gamecocks winning 41 to 7. And I will tell you guys this, after watching EIU over the weekend, I think that's at minimum what the score will probably be. So, yeah, Taylor says, love the shirt. Yeah, I'm wearing this because today is actually the 2-year anniversary of hashtag Fire Will Muschamp. 2-year anniversary, believe it or not. So crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Taking your questions, comments, calls as well. White Garnet White for the Gamecocks this weekend. White Garnet White for the Gamecocks this weekend, just in case you missed it. Very, very excited for South Gunner to bring back out the White Garnet White. Tyler Noel says we will hang at least a 50 burger on them. I see them scoring 3 points. Yeah, I'll tell you this. EIU should not get to double digits in points. They really shouldn't. They really shouldn't. EIU should not get to double digits. Bottom line. Bottom line, end of discussion. So, Eric Hendrickson says 57-13 Gamecocks. Yeah, I think it's going to be my prediction right now. I'll tell you this. I think it's going to be a very fun night for the boys in Garnet and Black. Scotty No says Beamer seemed off. Not sure why I got that feeling. Anyone else? No, I didn't feel that at all. Hampton Brown, what's the biggest thing you want to see coming out of Saturday? I'd like to see somebody step up at wide receiver 1. Who's going to be our lead guy, our playmaker on the outside? Also the secondary, see somebody emerge there. Outside of that, man, Hampton, I just want to see a lot of guys touch the field. I want to see the Gamecocks get a big W, and I want to see no injuries. That's what I want to see more than anything. That's what I want to see more than anything. Fred Jenkins, until Luke gets back, I think Jason will play better than Zeb and start next week. Justin, unpopular opinion, but one uni combo I'd love to see is the black helmets, white jersey, and black numbers with letters. Justin, no. Just that comment you just made, delete it, because no, let's not go crazy with the unis anymore. Enough is enough. Fred, I think Luke will be back for week 2. There's no question. Luke will be back for week 2. He is this team's starting quarterback, bottom line, point blank, into discussion. I don't see a lot of Jason Brown touching the field this season. I think he will play against EIU, don't get me wrong, but as far as outside of that, I don't think Jason Brown hits the field a lot this year. Sean O'Brien says, I love the Stormtroopers for away, but Garnet White with the Tannehill era white circles on the helmets would be cool, too, for a default away. If you want to do defaults, fine, but I think you're going to see South going to do a lot of their basic uniform combos, so which I'm a fan of. We got 5 minutes left, guys. Again, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377, guys. We'll have a lot of the quotes out on social media from Shane Beamer's availability, as well as the players as well. A lot of players spoke. We'll have all of the quotes from those guys out on social media in case you missed them. And, of course, they are on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and watch everything, hear everything that Shane Beamer and all of the players said in their availability. Brandon Prothman, anybody on punt returner? Yes, Josh Van listed as the starting punt returner, at least on the depth chart. So, Brandon, whatever that means to you, I would believe the depth chart. Josh Van is listed as the starting punt returner. Brian Dean says the basic is best. Sean O'Brien says maybe Beamer heard you out when it comes to them needing default unis. I just, again, especially for game 1, bro, it would have been so stupid to not wear white, Garnet White. Like, you need a base. I think this is going to set the tone for Beamer in regards to uniforms. You know what I mean? I know uniforms aren't that big of a deal and they're not that important, but, they are, though. It's the brand of your school. It's how you brand your school. So they are important to a degree, and I'm glad the Gamecocks are going with that white, Garnet White. I really am. I really, really am. He's not into the hoopla. He's not into the hype when it comes to throwback unis or anything of that nature. So, again, guys, last-minute questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Brian Dean, thank you for tuning in, Brian. Again, thank you all for tuning in. What a day it's been, obviously, with the announcement of Zeb Noland, the depth chart. Chaos, pure chaos. We love the chaos. Fred Jenkins, all aboard the Shane train, taking off this Saturday. Indeed. T. Jordan 2132. Yeah, this is the Zeb Noland fan club meeting. In Beamer, we trust. In Beamer, we trust T. Jordan. Hannah Brown says, definitely feeling a culture shift in our program. I love Beamer's demeanor. As do I. As do I, man. I love it. I love seeing what Shane Beamer's doing and the way he's changing the culture and everything else. So, awesome stuff. Brian, yes, you'll see me Saturday. Come out to Seawells. We'll be out there probably around noon, man. Seawells all day long. Jay's Corner, 3 to 4. Really, really good time. Really, really good time. Sean O'Brien says, if you have a traditional winning uniform, then you'll have no need for throwbacks. Great point. Great point. Let's start winning in white, Garnet White. Make it our base home uni. Why not? Why not? Why not, folks? Why not? Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Brian Dean says we'll be there by 2. Yeah, that's why I made my Jay's Corner show 3 to 4. So those who are going to be in the fairgrounds and Gamecock Park and all that, you guys have plenty of time to get parked, get situated, and head on over to Jay's for the live show. Going to be a really, really good time. Aaron Gibson, sounds like Jason Brown is a great kid, but not a D1 quarterback talent-wise. Well, he did go to St. Francis, Aaron, so, I mean, there's probably a reason for that. Eric Hendrickson, every week, just hit him in the mouth. Let's roll. Beamer ball. Beamer ball, yes. Beamer ball indeed. Beamer ball indeed. Love it. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We basically hit 1 o'clock. Got a lot to get into today, recording tomorrow's show. We got interviews to do. We got an event tonight. We got everything rocking and rolling. Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all so much for the love and support, guys. Like I said, quick reminder, podcast this morning dropped with Alex McGrath, episode 486, talking everything preseason, the upcoming season, the season opener, all that good stuff. Again, guys, what a show today. The Daily Crow, absolutely on fire, folks. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.